And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great honor, great privilege to be one of the first to welcome you to the new era of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Jar Jar Binks is coming to Galaxy of Heroes, and everything moving forward is never gonna be the same. That's right, I'm not kidding. We finally have the long-awaited road ahead, and Mr. Binks, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. Let me bring you guys in over. We have a ton that we need to break down. I mean, wow, it's been a minute since the last time that we had a road ahead. We've been going a little off-roading, but I gotta say it's funny. We've been waiting so long for the road ahead. None of this should really be too surprising. We either guesstimated it very correctly, or we had some pretty big leaks that go back as far as to late 2022, where we got word of a lot of this stuff. So let me give you the highlight of the road ahead that we have ahead of us here. Really excited about the future of Star Wars Galaxy. There's all the fun stuff we're gonna be going into. Number one, we have a brand new planet that's gonna be coming to Star Wars Galaxy, as we're gonna talk about here. We also have a brand new raid for Naboo, which again, we kind of suspected that was gonna happen here. Moving forward here, we also are going to be having a new Gungan faction. Remember, no one believed it, and like, it seems like whatever that leak was a couple years ago, man, it's almost everything has come out of fruition here. And this is going to lead to a couple of new characters, not like the Tuskens where we just got two. This is like a full brand new faction. We're going to be 5 characters. We're getting Boss Nass, Captain Tarples, a Gungan Bombardier, a Gungan Phalanx. I don't know, sounds like a Jimmy John sandwich. And then, of course, the man of the hour, Jar Jar Binks. But on top of that, Queen Amidala is coming in the next conquest, which again was high on the priority list for a possible conquest unit, because we were told the next conquest unit is light side, and we're like, Queen Amidala could be on there. So holy cow. Yeah, we got a lot of interesting stuff here that we were like, sometimes I like to be wrong. It's nice to be surprised, but hey, it's cool to see that, we were dialed in, and we have this new guild gifting functionality. Buying packs for your friends. Why just buy packs for yourself when you can buy packs for your friends? Come on, give the spirit of giving. Actually, this actually, from Siege's perspective, this is actually a pretty good idea for them. All right. That's all, folks. Thanks for stopping by. No, stick around. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get into the weeds now, y'all. Man, oh man, oh man. Welcome to the February 2024 Road Ahead, where we start our journey in the Star Wars The Phantom Menace arc. In today's post, we'll be presenting you with information, developer insight on the new Mandalore bonus zone, the Gungan faction, the Galactic Republic faction. I mean, this is all stuff we've been asking for, man. Guild gifting, Jar Jar Binks, and a new raid, the Battle for Naboo. All right, here we go. First things first, let's talk about this new bonus zone. So I will say this part, I was thrown off. They got me. This is the one thing where I was not predicting. We were expecting a new planet for territory battles, but we were expecting Naboo. But I guess when you follow the money, this maybe makes a little bit more sense of Bo-Katan being a little bit more recent potentially. But anyways, let's get to it. New bonus zone. While we don't have the full details of the new bonus zone, we are currently working on one and learning our inspiration from the Star Wars Rebels. So you'll find yourself on a scarred planet riddled with conflict and heavily influenced by the Galactic Empire. So gear up your squad and prepare for battle and help your guild to victory. And who's required? As we are developing on the bonus zone, new requirements haven't been finalized yet. However, you can expect one of our newer units from the Mandalorian faction, Bo-Katan Mandalore, Dark Tripper Moff Gideon, and some old favorites. Sabine Wren will likely make an appearance. So we'll be sure to update the list with requirements once they're locked in. So the first thing we gotta wait and see here is that Bo-Katan event. So they've been really bringing that Bo-Katan event quite frequently, but now that all their requirements are farmable, free to play, are they gonna bring Bo-Katan back in a very speedy fashion like they have? I guess we'll have to wait and see. So cool stuff. My favorite planet in territory battles currently is the Zepho planet. I really like the unique bosses, the feel of it, and a lot of people, at least more than Bo, at least have Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. So have to wait and see what that's gonna bring here. The only thing is, I like going to the bonus planets. I wish there was just something a little bit more cool involved with it, like a unit or something. But it's fine. Maybe it's best that it's a low stakes type of thing, because not everyone's gonna have Bo-Katan and whatnot. So maybe it's just fine if it's just a couple of gear pieces. The bonus nodes are also helpful to get additional stars. All right, Battle for Naboo. The second we saw the stat kit reveal and they kind of line dropped that there might be something coming where we're gonna need this reskin Federation version of the stat. All of a sudden, boo, 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 the siren started going off, and we had a feeling this was going to be the new raid of 2024. So let me show you what we got here. What better way to celebrate the Phantom Menace 25th anniversary than with an iconic battle on the planet Naboo? We are excited to give you an early read-in and look at the next generation and raid and the direction we are looking to go while we build out our episode 1 SWGH event, sir. You and your guild will find yourself in the middle of a conflict participating in the Battle of Naboo against waves of battle droids with no end in sight. Will you be able to sustain at all that firepower? Gear up all your Gungans, come get 'em a whale harder, baby. Who will give you your best chance of survival and maximum potential. Our initial target for this date, is around summertime, which makes sense. The raid that we just got was dropped in November or something like that, late November. And we were kind of expecting 5-6 months with it, so we're still in the mid-ish cycle of the current raid. So that sounds about right. And plus we have to release all the new Gungans, so June doesn't sound too far out of the question here. And next, the word from our designer. So here we go. We got a little bit of designer input here. What has it been like working on the new raid? I enjoy making events with narrative opportunities like the territory battle and the Jedi Knight Cal's hero's journey. So working on the raid has been a lot of fun. We're trying to really nail that feeling of nostalgia and excitement that comes with watching the battle for Naboo. Do you remember the first time you saw those battle droids unload for the transports? I'm almost convinced there was a developer just trying to tease it in my live stream chat a while ago. Someone was literally saying, hey, out of nowhere, hey, what do you think of a battle for Naboo raid? So I'm gonna keep my mind open, of course. I've always been a fan of the epic bosses, but this sounds interesting. Just constant waves of battle droids coming. Let's wait and see what it turns out to be like here. But then here are the required factions that may be required here. So it's still production, all that fun stuff. But currently, they're gonna say characters found within the Galactic Republic, Jedi, Separatists, and of course, Gungans are going to be required. So man, we had a couple things, Keller and Beck. That could be a nice Galactic Republic Jedi team here. We'll have to wait and see unless they be very specific, but I have a feeling a lot of you guys are going to have Galactic Republic, Jedi, Separatists, and the Gungans are probably going to be the sore spot for most people, obviously. So in Battle for Naboo, the Gungans of Jar Jar Binks on their side will give you the best opportunity to be successful in the raid. The Gungans will be featured as a faction side the Battle for Naboo, much like Jabba the Hutt was for the Crate Dragon Hunt, and Leia Organa was the Speeder Bike Pursuit raid. When we get close to the raid launch, we will be sure to communicate with you the final details so you and your guild can be prepared. So one thing to note, there's nothing as of now, but they haven't confirmed the Galactic Legend. Generally, so far, 2 for 2 with the new raids, we've had a Galactic Legend featured for the raid. So Jabba was the go-to for the crate, and Leia was the go-to. Well, she could just freaking solo. It doesn't even need to. Just Leia was the go-to for the brand new Endor raid. So not to say we aren't going to get a Galactic Legend featured here. I don't know how much money I'm going to put down. Maybe a Chancellor Palpatine. Oh boy, so just keep your mind open. Obviously, Queen Amidala is not going to be a Galactic Legend. She's going to be a Conquest character. We're going to talk about Jar Jar is a featured legendary. So maybe there won't always be a featured Galactic Legend alongside a raid, especially if they want to do it 2 times a year. So I don't know. Keep your eyes peeled. There might be a chance that something could happen. And then we have the new faction. Or the Gungans here. I remember, even when I saw that, alleged leak back then, I wasn't even sure, how trustworthy it was going to be. It sounded far-fetched a little bit, but it kind of sounded legit at the same time. It sounded kind of far-fetched where it sounded real. And here we are. Gungans really left their home planet Naboo, and because of this, they were exceptionally proud and protective of their home. We wanted this faction to represent that moment in the Phantom Menace of them standing steady on the battlefield as the Trade Federation invasion unfolds in front of them. The Gungan team will have significant upfront power from their shield generator to defend against any would-be attackers, while much of the team works in an orderly fashion. There is a member that may cause a bit of disarray to the battle plans, and I'm assuming we're talking about Jar Jar here, and that's kind of if we had Jar Jar, there had to be some sort of disruption factor in associated with it. So from the initial set right here, it kind of sounds like it's going to be something great against glass cannons that come in with explosive plays. That's kind of what I'm suspecting here. So as we highlighted earlier on, Boss Nass is coming to the game. A boisterous leader who commands the Gungans of Utugunga with pride and utilizes their unique technology to achieve victory. Boss Nass's shield generator. I believe they're using the mechanic that Holdo uses. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Will provide Gungans a way to avoid damage early on in the fight. Then we have Captain Tarpals. You don't know who Captain Tarpals is? This dude that rocks the pretty sick headwear, the glasses, whatever you call it. They have a decisive attacker that sets up his teammates for success and inflicts sizable damage to the enemies. Then you have the Gungan Bombardier. I see what you're doing. The Bombardier. Not the Bombardier, it's the Bombardier. Versatile attacker that capitalizes on enemy debuffs and ramps damage while using abilities when the shield generator is up. And the Gungan Phalanx. I don't know why. It sounds like a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Anyways, a stout tank that is willing to assist his allies in need and provide coverage with his shield. And then the man of the hour, the new legendary unit, Jar Binks, is what we have right ahead of us, my friends. So a Gungan support who isn't afraid to interject in the battle and offer his own, how should we say this, brand of help confounding the enemy. Since Jar Jar is a legendary unit, you will need to have the other 4 Gungans to unlock him. With the Jar Jar Binks on their side, the Gungans will do great work and cause a bit of chaos during the battle for Naboo. So be sure to gear them up and utilize that shield generator. So more kit reveals to come. How to obtain these characters will be provided in their usual cadence, so stay tuned for more information. So yeah, I mean, the Tusken team, when we go back in hindsight, even though the crate raid has sunsetted, and the new raid is the focus, and soon this raid, still controversy about how they like just make complete old raids go completely thing. I think there's ways to keep old raids relevant. I digress at this moment. The Tuskens are still a very important key cornerstone faction in the game that's really meant to counter a variety of turn meter related things. So Gungans have to wait and see, but if it's anything like Tuskens, people are going to be a fan of them, I think. And this right here, I mean, gosh gee willikers, Batman. I mean, we've been talking about this for a minute, even from just a speculative standpoint here. A Queen Amidala with new Galactic Republic characters. Now, it's coming in a different way. I mean, we expected there was gonna be a Queen Amidala this year, but we were hoping maybe like the current Padme would just like get a new unit to make her better. They're going all on Queen Amidala, which is fine. Next Conquest unit, we've been very dark side heavy, and that's what they told us many months ago. Hey, just so you know, the next one's gonna be light side. Anyways, another iconic character is making her way to the holiday book, Queen Amidala. She'll be a future Conquest Chase character, as well as accompanied by 2 new characters from the Galactic Republic faction. Captain Panaka's maybe my initial guess. You guys feel free to guess which you think the other one might be. I want to believe it's gonna be I don't know. Was Naboo? Is Captain Panaka? I mean, later on he's Galactic Republic. Oh, this is gonna be an interesting one. 2 characters for Queen Amidala. Shoot, what do you want to see? While we don't have the full details ready to share on her supporting cast yet, we will say these characters are also iconic, and we can't wait to tell you more about them. Captain Panaka is cool. I don't know if he's iconic. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now let's hear from the design lead about Queen Amidala. So what does Queen Amidala do? She has some interesting new things that haven't been seen a lot of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Without going into many details, there's a lot coming into her that is going to be fun to play while also making you learn to get the most out of your squad. We're still working on all the details and functionality, but I'm excited to see the reaction to what is to come. In a later section, we'll go over a new decoy mechanic in a little bit. So my guess is we're assuming this is the next Conquest unit. I mean, it could be maybe the next one. So we'll probably get a kit reveal. The last Bane cycle's kicking up next week. So probably not next week, but the week after, I would say we're probably going to be expecting a kit reveal for Queen Amidala. So we'll learn a little bit more. And then she's got some interesting synergy mechanics. She has interesting mechanics around fairly unused buffs in our game. And I think her squad to gain the most potential out of the buffs while staying behind the decoy mechanics will be crucial to make the most of her team. I'm really curious to see what this is going to pan out to be. The good news is it's a Grand Array to Omicron as well, but she'll also have solid raid utility helping you power through the battle for Naboo. So this is a first, if I'm not misunderstanding either. First Conquest unit that's going to be used inside of, I guess Maul technically fits that bill, but Maul was definitely far separated from the introduction of the crate raid. So in terms of releasing a new raid, a new Conquest unit, it's close proximity is what I'm trying to say here. So you'll be able to use Queen Amidala there. And here's the decoy mechanic that they have. It's a summoned unit with a permanent taunt, which leads into the thematic feel for Phantom Menace and her character as the decoy sits at the Protect the Queen. I kind of like the vibe of that. The uniqueness of her kit happens while the decoy is active. Queen Amidala will gain a new stats effect called the Queen's Protection. And for how many stacks of QP Queen Amidala has, she gives double of its effects to the other Galactic Republic allies. And then once the decoy is defeated, the Queen gets to take a turn, gains a gnarly locked buff, and inflicts an enemy with something a little bit nasty. And here you go. If you want to pause the video, that's how the developers felt when they're working on it. I legit lost my mind! That's exactly how they said it too, I can imagine. Really cool stuff. I mean, when you think of Star Wars character design and just the prequels, Queen Amidala definitely had one of the most memorable outfits in there. So that's gonna wrap up all the big stuff. We do have this interesting little feature here, which I will admit wasn't on my bingo card, but it makes sense for the scope of this game and for what Capital Games is achieving. I think they could probably go a step further and just like gift to anybody. But you know, this is the first step to the process. So just to kind of give you a quick tour. Lastly, but certainly not leastly, a feature that has been requested a ton in our surveys. Now, I could be wrong. I'm willing to say, CG, it's okay. It's okay. You have to kind of pad it up a little bit. Yeah, everyone wanted this, right? Everybody wanted this. Everybody. I'm willing to say out of a list of 100 things that people want in the game, I'm thinking this is probably 95 or something. So let's not blow too much smoke out there, I'd say. Guild gifting's coming to the holotables. With this feature, you'll be able to, as you guessed, gift bundles to fellow guild members through a very easy UI system below you. Isn't that funny? They can master the UI. When you want to buy something, yeah, look at this beautiful UI that we made. Below, you'll find some new images from our prototype build that will showcase how this feature works. So this section of data mines today, and people are like, whoa, what is that? It's got a little gift icon. So you go to the gift icon in the store, shows you the packs that you can give, and bada bing, bada boom, give the gifts to all your other friends. So maybe, like, man, I mean, even for myself, like sometimes I bought people stuff. I want to give people like a hyperdrive bundle, and you can't really do that. You send them some PayPal money and hope they get it or whatever. But this would be a great way to directly support people that maybe can't whale. You know, maybe they'd like to buy some of these packs. So again, good step for CG. But don't pretend that, you know, this is one of the most requested features. I can make a list of probably at least 50 other things that people want. So we have some final thoughts from the other folks here at Capital Games. There wasn't anything too much here. Just people sharing that they're extremely passionate for the new Phantom Menace that's coming to Star Wars Galaxies. And I'm really excited as well with the new raid, the new character. I know people love or hate Jar Jar. I'm in the fan. I'm looking forward to it. I hate to say it. You hate me if you want, but I'm looking forward to seeing Jar Jar come to the game, and hopefully he's as wild as I imagine I think he's gonna be. So, and with that, so ends the February 2024 road ahead. We appreciate you taking the time to read this over with what we have going on in the near future, and look forward to reading your conversation and posts. 2024 is gonna be a great year for Star Wars Galaxies, and we are thrilled to be on this journey with you all, and I the same, my friends. Looking forward to it. We've been going without a road ahead for a minute, but it's nice to have these road aheads. It gets us excited for what's to come, even though a lot of the stuff that we're doing is speculative, which has been pretty accurate over the past couple months. It's nice kind of get official word and just know what general direction that we're going in. And I hate to say it, I'm already excited for what's going to be after the Phantom Menace, and I'm a big Phantom Menace fan as well. So looking forward to 2024. Hopefully you guys are as well. A lot of new characters, factions, all that fun jazz, and no better people to do it than with you guys. Leave that like, comment down below, and all your beautiful thoughts, and be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And always remember how it's great to be in the Empire today.
Oh, it's great to be